Hello everyone, this is Mr. Molo for the 6.2 puzzle time. So the joke for this one is, why did the mother skunk take her baby to see the doctor? Okay, so if you remember from the lesson here, we kind of have a few different problems here. So these first couple, they want us to rewrite in rational exponent form. So let's look at those. So remember, now it's written with the radical, so we want us to write it with a exponent. And so if you remember, the outside number ends up being the numerator, and the inside number ends up being the denominator. And so what I mean by that is, this is the inside number, the number inside the parentheses. So for this one would be 3, and the number outside the parentheses would be 5. So if I was turning this one into it, it would match with letter U here, and it would be 9 and 5/3. Okay, should probably be a little smaller because it's an exponent. Okay, and then like if I were to do number 4, it would be negative 51 and 11/7. Okay, this one looks kind of weird because it doesn't look like it has anything there. Like there's no numbers there, it's just the square root of 8. But if we remember, everything is really to the first power. So the square root of 8 to the first power really means there should be a 1 there. And since it's the square root of 8, there really should be a 2 there, but there's kind of those invisible things that we talk about, how we don't put like 1x and things like that. So a question like number 1 is going to end up being like letter A here. It's going to end up being 8.5. Okay, and now the opposite here. So now we're writing in radical form. Okay, so now it was those, and now we're going to switch it up. So that means I'm going to have my square root symbol. 19's going to go underneath there, and it's going to be the quad root of 19. And again, there could be a 1 there, but we don't like to write it because everything is really to the first power. We don't really usually write the 1 there. Okay, kind of the same thing with number 6 here. It's going to be the square root of 802, except it's not going to be a square root because there's a 7 there. So it's going to be the 7th root of 802, and then really, again, could put like the first power there. Okay, or like, let's look at number 8. So it's going to be 16 here. And we're not going to put that 2 there because it's already implied that it's a square root. So if you're putting that on big ideas, it's going to mark it wrong. And then it's going to be to the 3rd power. And then these down here, they just want us to evaluate. So as long as you have a calculator and you can put them in, you could do that here. So like, for example, this means the cube root of 125. So that means what times what times what gives us 125. The answer for that is going to be 5. Okay. Or if we look at like number 10 here, we have the quint root of negative 32. So what number times itself 5 times is going to give us negative 32. So that's going to be negative 2, letter B. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is going to be negative 32. And then you kind of have the choice here with some of these other ones that have those weird square roots. We could do it a nice way and rewrite it, or we could just put it in our calculator and figure it out that way. Whichever way you want to do, you can do it whichever way.